Oh,
It's 4:30, March 28, 2023. Welcome to the Lorain County Board of Commissioners Tuesday meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Moore,
I am here.
Commissioner Riddell,
Here.
Commissioner Hahn.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we have a public hearing. This is why this is not a regular commissioners meeting. And Drake has prepared, I guess, the hearing itself. Now, I don't think this is one where we need to swear in or, okay, so. Okay, Drake, it's all you and Ian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. All righty. Well, thanks a lot, commissioners, for having us today. This is the first block grant hearing. It's a requirement for the block grant program that's sponsored by the State of Ohio's Development Services Agency under their grant programs, which allows us to actually apply for what's called the Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program. It's an allocation grant, and we are able to actually pursue their dollars, and if we're able to get the funds, in this case it'll be $570,000. And usually it is something that will actually be leveraged. I think last year we got 2 years ago we got 570,000, and because of leveraging we were able to get an additional $1,400,000 worth of projects done in various communities and parts of the county that we do serve under this program. This program does serve all the areas of Lorain County except for the city of Lorain and the city of Elyria, which are direct entitlements. Then also Vermillion is also part of the Erie County program because of the city being split between the city, right in the middle of the city. So therefore, that community actually applies under the block grant program, but through Erie County's application. What the county intends to do is the allocation program, we will actually go after the $570,000. It will be a 2-year grant cycle. Eligible projects do include like street replacement, water supply, drainage, sanitary sewer improvements, park acquisition and improvements, demolition of unsafe structures, neighborhood facilities, and rehabilitation of housing. But because we also get the CHIP program, we typically do not do housing under the block grant program. We just tend to follow the CHIP program and use those dollars for other programs like I just mentioned. All the activities that I've just described must benefit low and moderate income persons, aid in the prevention of elimination of slum or blight, or serve a limited clientele, seniors, disabled, etc., as defined by the Ohio Development Department. Community development allocation participants are required to include a fair housing activity as part of the annual or biannual 2023 application, and they also do what's called analysis of impediments for fair housing choice. In the past, Lorain County has done a lot of projects where we've replaced streets. We built an addition to a senior center over in Sheffield Lake. We've done ADA modifications on a number of different properties throughout the county where there's public facilities involved. We repaired and replaced sewer lines. That's a number of jobs that you've recently taken action on that were funded out of the 21 program cycle where we did sewer projects both in Sheffield Township, Sheffield Lake. We've done it in Oberlin before and in Carlisle Township. And we'll continue and probably do additional projects like that. We've also funded Meals on Wheels, installed a generator at the senior center over in North Ridgeville, and assisted in the construction of the Sheffield Township Fire Station. And at this time, I'll have Ian Berry come and he'll talk about the set-aside programs and some of the other stuff on the agenda.
Drake. So the set-aside programs under block grant, some of the funds from the larger net of block grant are being pushed out to more specific grants. So you're looking at things like public infrastructure, their downtown building program, the residential public infrastructure program, and target of opportunity grants. These are more targeted. So target of opportunity specifically is, I know, is getting a revamp. They're changing the name. I believe it's something along the lines of Flex. And that's where you're starting to see things like facade repairs for businesses and that type of thing. So there is the potential for the county to go after those funds as well if we have projects that fit within those specific guidelines that they have. Normally, block grant programs all follow similar criteria. So you're looking at LMI and limited clientele in order to apply for these programs. But specifically looking at our allocation grant for 23, we sent out funding requests to many of our partners and the communities within Lorain County back in February, letting them know, hey, we're looking for these, looking for projects for this grant. Please let us know if you have anything that's shelf ready to go, so we can send out our application. We're looking to have those back to us by April 20th of this year, so we can have those reviewed and submitted to the state, because the due date for the block grant program is the 14th of June. So we'd like to have all of that ready to go and then have them presented to the commissioners and have them make a decision. We actually had our community development implementation strategy meeting today. So we had some of the representatives of the communities and nonprofits within the county tell us, hey, these are the things that we're looking at doing. We gave them the different restrictions with the funding and how you were able to go about going through the application process with us. So we're hoping to hear back from the people that were at the meeting by April 20th, like I said. We're looking at having a second public hearing as one of the requirements of ODSA. We're looking at around May 9th of this year to be able to meet that requirement.
And that would be at 4:30, not 9:30.
I'll be sure to make, no, thanks, Teresa. Yeah, so if there are any other projects that we're looking at as well, like I said, with those set-aside grants, those would actually also be due on June 14th as well. So if there are any interested parties interested in working with us, we would need to jump on that ASAP and get that done at the same time, so we can get that application done. I believe that's most of the things that we needed to cover. Other than, oh, okay, we were also looking at May 30th to have authorizing legislation for us to apply for the grant program. So those are kind of the major dates that we're looking at are April 20th to receive all of the funding requests, have them submitted to the commissioners to have them looked at roughly around May 9th, along with the second public hearing, and then May 30th kind of have everything ready to go so we can submit prior to that June 14th date. At this time, if there's any questions or comments, I'm more than happy to address them.
Ask the public.
Sorry. Any public comment? Anyone wish to participate? Okay, seeing.
It just appears to me that May 30th is a regular Tuesday night meeting if we stay on that schedule. So.
So you just have to make a motion in a second to close the hearing if you have nothing further.
Since there's nothing further, make a motion to close the hearing.
Second?
Any further discussion? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Considering that took 10 minutes, we could probably still have it 4:30 on a commissioner night meeting. Okay, just wanted to say that. Look at her.
I don't think that's your ditch hearing that's coming up.
Oh, the
will be
ditch
a
hearing.
half
Oh, you're talking about
hour.
that. I thought you meant this one. Okay.
Because we get special treatment, that's great.
We can talk about it on April 3rd. How's that?
We could do whatever the pleasure of the board
Yeah,
is.
I forgot about that.
Nobody
Okay.
believes it's whatever the pleasure of Teresa is. We all know how that works. We've been down that road before, Teresa.
Okay. Any other business, or was that your line? Did I just steal it?
No, I don't have anything else.
Do you have any other business? Okay, any public comments? Let's see, Brian Baker, would you like to come on up? Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Commissioners. Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive. So I was at a meeting on Friday here, and you guys have had a tone about transparency. So I looked up the definition of transparency under governance, and transparency means a decision taken and their enforcement are done in a manner that, following rules and regulation, it also means that information is freely available and directly accessible to those who will be affected by such decision of enforcement. So after this meeting on Friday, I wake up on Saturday morning and I read the newspaper. We left here on Friday. MCM Consulting's not on the agenda, at least I brought the agenda with me again today, not on there. Seems like it came out of executive session and we voted to award a $90,000 consulting. Is that true?
Yeah, that was passed. That was
I mean,
passed. That
Okay,
was
so-
passed when we came out of exec, but
But
this
so
is
I
your
would ask
public
is,
comment.
was it discussed in executive session?
First of all, if I can answer you,
Yeah,
I'll disagree with the commissioner. No contract was entered into on
I
Friday.
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Well, I mean-
I didn't ask about a contract. It was voted on, the paper said that you guys entered into something with MCM. Is that correct?
No.
Did they authorize you to enter into it?
Me?
Somebody from whoever enters into their contract, because you do the procurement for them, right?
Well, I do the legal stuff for him, procurement's Casey. Let me tell
Okay.
you what happened.
Okay,
Under the law, the board discussed public contracting in executive session. It's one of the reasons the board can go into executive session.
okay,
A variety of options were presented. We discussed it briefly. The board then came out and authorized the president
Okay.
to enter into a contract
Okay.
when it was done
okay.
in an amount up to $90,000.
Okay, so, but if you look when you were in executive session, you only mentioned, and maybe the clerk could read it back, you didn't mention you were gonna do anything on public contract. You talked about 2 issues you were gonna go in for, correct?
Probably.
Well, maybe the clerk could read back, because
No,
you
one
made
of
the
the reasons-
motion. No,
one
no,
of the-
you made the motion for the
I didn't make a
president.
motion.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
One of the reasons we went to executive session was
Okay.
to discuss litigation.
Okay.
One of the reasons I wanted to discuss the potential contracting in executive
Okay.
session was because of its effect on current litigation with the board.
Okay.
So I'm comfortable with that.
Okay, so what I would ask is, in the future, could you, if you were gonna vote on something when you come back out, because a lot of entities do that, schools, cities, they will say there's a possibility of a vote on something coming out of executive session. Because to me, when it went in, the litigation, everybody knows what the litigation is, you guys got it. The employment, I get that. I mean, I did pull up sunshine laws, you guys all know them, we all got them. I think you're kind of on the edge of it with what you guys went in and did. So I came back because I was very surprised to go in there. And this issue, I don't understand the issue with it because I haven't been here long enough. But what I do understand is, we talk about transparency, and it wasn't very transparent when you guys came back out of executive session and voted on it. Because I think what you wanted is Jeff to hold up new business on his presentation on LCC to bring it out so you had new business. That didn't happen. So then you went into executive session, so that kind of skewed it a little bit.
no, I like what you're saying. I love the idea of saying we may be coming back out for a possibility of a vote. I love the
Absolutely.
idea and I love the input. Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. I just
No.
am very
No,
much.
Brian?
One other thing I
No, I
would
like
say,
that.
I
No, I
guess one other
appreciate
thing
that.
too, though, is you did update the website for when your meetings were gonna be. Except the meetings were happening at the beginning of the month and the website wasn't updated. And your days on there still said for about the first 3 weeks of March, said Wednesday at 9:30 for the commissioners' meeting.
Really?
They were. I can tell you right now, because I go on there and look at it, because I can pull the agenda down. That's how I do it. So the first couple meetings of this month we're still on Wednesday at 9:30. And I'll tell you how I know this, okay? I went over to Office on Aging, and I was helping them unload food for the Office on Aging, and someone said, "You going to Commissioners meeting this week?" I said, "Yes, tomorrow at 9:30. They said, "No, it was today." I said, "No." Went home, Wednesday at 9:30, second Tuesday of this month. So to me, I know you can put it in the Chronicle. Some people don't get the Chronicle. Somebody told me you could put it on Facebook. I don't do Facebook, okay? The official notification is where? The Lorain County website. It absolutely is. And I would say to you, if you're part of the Lorain County Port Authority, you might have them update theirs too, because theirs all still says January 2022. So with that, I
Okay.
thank you.
No, thank you.
Take into consideration that you do it, because.
I will. I appreciate
Talk
it,
about
Brian.
transparency.
Yep.
I mean, I'm about transparency. I'm
Yeah.
about doing things right, and I think the community and they should have that.
So I like the idea, and
All right.
I'll make sure, because,
Brian?
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just clarify one thing, the process about the strategic planning with the college, that's a standalone project all
No,
by
no,
itself.
I understand, but it was in
We
new
didn't do
business.
it in order to open the
Dave,
door for
Dave
anything
knew,
else.
Dave knew what
Right.
I was talking
Right,
about, so
right,
Jeff, so
right.
I understand it, but he wanted that to be done in new business, because when you
Right.
came out, there would be new business.
Correct.
Technically, it should have been old business. I've asked for it twice before that.
But on
so-
the agenda, it wasn't, and you gotta follow the agenda.
Right.
I didn't make the rules, just like I told you the other day.
Right.
They make the rules, you guys took the oath of office to enforce them.
Right, but by nature, new business
Right.
is new business.
Don't disagree. Till it hits that agenda, though, it can either be under old business or it can be under new business. And it wasn't even on the agenda in either one.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to.
You can walk it on. So you walked it on, basically, but you did it under new
It's an
business.
exception. We don't do it as a general rule, but.
I know,
when
but
time
you
is of
brought it
the
up under new
essence-
business, correct?
When time is of the essence, you take advantage of the
Well,
meeting.
I
you
agree.
have.
I support what the college did. I mean,
Government moves slow enough by itself.
I don't disagree, but I would
But
say,
there's a
just
reason why it
if
should
we're gonna
move
be
slow.
transparent, make sure we're transparent 24/7 and the whole year long, okay? Thank you for your time.
No, thanks, Brian. Okay, clerk's report.
Monday at 4:30 PM, April 3rd, you guys will view the Roth Ditch Columbia Township, which is a pre-recorded drone video here with the people that were notified.
Do you
Tuesday,
expect a crowd for that?
of course I do.
Okay.
This is Roth Ditch, so I think it's the fourth time we're doing this.
Okay.
Fifth time? I don't know what
Probably
it
hasn't
is.
changed much since the last time we viewed it.
No.
I know. Okay.
And then on Tuesday, April 4th at 5 PM will be our commissioners meeting, and then Friday, April 7th at 9:30, not 10:30, will be our commissioners meeting.
Okay, move to adjourn. If we need to do that or not,
Second?
don't
Okay.
need to.
Commissioner Moore?
Okay. Aye.
Commissioner Riddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Hahn.
Yes.
We're adjourned.
Cool. Thank you. No, thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking around and, helping us out.
Who do we have to send stuff to make sure the website gets up?
It is all updated now.
I know it is now, but in the future, if there's something that needs to go.
Yeah,
What's the chain of command there?
Chris Kish does our website.
Chris Kish? Gotcha.
Yep. No, she was in charge of the Facebook and the website from the beginning, so she's just been doing it. But then there were so many changes going on, and then we started noticing things, and we're like, shit, we gotta change that part. Shit, we gotta-" and there's so many different levels, so it was just like, okay.
Official is, you've given the official time, so that's okay.
At the beginning of the year, we give the official notice, and then every time it changes. Yeah. He is?
Well, he's supporting.
Yeah, but there's gotta be like a dozen people already for that. Where's the rest?